is slowly blending together. Mr. President, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as I look around the world and all that is going on in it, I see a slowly forming pattern that has been emerging over the course of my lifetime. And I see it all over the globe in everything. From friendships to marriages, to cars and restaurants, from fitness trends to medical breakthroughs, we can see it everywhere. Take automobiles, for example. Look at the blending of luxury, sport, and utility into many of today's vehicles. Luxury, sport, and utility used to be separate entities. And how about the food industry? It used to be that when we went to a Chinese restaurant, all we would find is Chinese food. Figure. Nowadays, we can also find American food in these same restaurants. Additionally, we are also seeing American restaurants popping up overseas. In the world of Hollywood, there was a time where either action flicks or comedy flicks were the course of the day, and today we have action comedies and dramedies. Television and real life have blended together to bring us reality television, and politics has blended with acting, with politicians being coached on their speaking tonality, stage presence, and other skills, the same as actors. To further my case on blending, let's look at the trends in shopping. When I was a kid, there was a grocery store, a pharmacy, a liquor store, and a department store. Nowadays, every store is trying to be all those and more, one-stop shopping. And I couldn't talk about the blending phenomena without including martial arts. Pure one-art systems are quickly becoming more difficult to find. There was a time when there were karate schools, judo schools, or kung fu schools, each of them teaching very different systems. What we're seeing today is karate or taekwondo schools also teaching grappling or boxing in their curriculums. By the way, how big has MMA or mixed martial arts become over the past 20 years? Martial arts have been blending with dance and gymnastics for years. Dance has been blending with martial arts and gymnastics for years. And cheerleading has been blending with gymnastics, dance, and martial arts for years. We'll come back to that. Bruce Lee was probably the first martial artist to publicly talk about blending martial arts together. Nowadays, that's as common as creating a new item on the menu at a restaurant. By the way, how many chefs take ideas from other foods to create a new dish? Chicken and waffles certainly comes to mind. A blending of breakfast and lunch into a new style of meal, which leads us into blended words. When did we begin using the term brunch, anyway? And how many other blended words are we using today? Even stand-up comedy shows have blended. Nowadays, how common is it to see a live disc jockey open and close a comedian's set? Ever seen Def Comedy Jam or Russell Peters? And while we're on the subject of music, nearly every style of music these days has been blended with other styles. Even country music has been blended with hip-hop. It's getting harder and harder to tell it apart. Phones, cameras, and computers have become so blended that it's also beginning to be difficult to tell them apart as well. The latest trend is known as phablets, a blending of cell phones and the iPad. Who would have ever thought that phones would also become computers and be able to connect to the internet? Virtually everything that was once unique in our world has now become commonplace due to this blending trend. There's even talk that within the next 20 years, humans will be able to blend with computers by having the ability to upload our consciousness in the computer and live forever. Frankly, it boggles the mind. We are experiencing a blending of everything into everything. The internet is blending with everything as I speak. We used to need a hardwired computer and a phone line to connect with the internet. Now virtually anything and everything that one can think of is being connected to the internet, from eyeglasses to refrigerators and automobiles. It's amazing to see and frightening at the same time. Everything is changing at such a rapid pace that it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep up with. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in 20 years' time. For those who have gotten ahead of this trend, by learning to accept others' ideas and thoughts and infusing them into their own, the future is so bright, they've got to wear shades. Miss Toastmaster.
Crazy to think about, because all that blending just happens so commonly that we don't even think about it happening.